Hi, I'm Chef Alan Tatro with Global Sugar Art, and today we're going to be talking about color in cake decorating. And I'd like to introduce you to my new line of cake decorating colors and airbrush colors. We have the gel colors and we have the airbrush colors over here. And very soon we're going to have a powdered food color line that also works great in fondant and in buttercreams as well. So you'll have several choices. One of the things that many people are familiar with already is a color wheel. And I've got an example of a few different color wheels over here. On my website, we actually have many color wheels for you to look at with an explanation on how to use every single one of them. Basically, here is the basic color wheel. On this color wheel, you would use colors that are next to each other on a cake. Down here, you would use colors that are equally spaced apart. And those three colors would then do well together and would look nice together. There are many different interpretations of these color wheel harmonies, and you can use each one to your benefit to get the best color scheme for the cake that you're decorating. So I want to just show you very quickly a couple things you can do with color. One of the questions I get all the time from customers is, how do I get a really deep red? How do I get a really jet black or a navy blue? It's really actually quite easy. We're going to start with red. This is my super red. We also have a red that's not quite as dark as the super red. When we developed this color line, we looked at our competitors and we noticed that some of the gels were very thick and some of the gels were very thin. So you might pick up a black and you have to squeeze really hard to get it to drop. And then you'd pick up another color and it would just spray out. So we worked very hard to make sure that in our gel color line, the consistency was the same through all of them, so that when you're used to pressing just a certain amount to get one drop of color, you'll get that with all the colors. So I've put a few drops of the super red in some buttercream icing, and I'm just going to mix that up, and you're going to see that that's not a really dark red yet. I always start with less than I'm going to need. It's easier to add color. You can't take it out. And I'm going to put a little bit more in, and I want to show you the difference if I let this color sit overnight. What happens is you have oxidation. The color is exposed to the air and it develops. So there's a nice red. But I want you to see what happens with the same color that I've left overnight. Take a look at the difference. Just by letting a color sit overnight, just put the cover on it and leave it out on the counter, and the next day you're going to have a much redder color. When I used to own a retail bakery, around Christmas time or Valentine's Day, when we used tons of red buttercream icing, we would make up 2 or 3 gallon pails of red coloring 3 or 4 days in advance, and we would just let it deepen in color. So we always had some nice bright red color or deep red color ready to use. So that's how you develop any color, whether it's navy blue or a forest green or a super red. Make it ahead of time. That's the only secret. Black is another color. Oh, that's my red. Black is another color that people often ask, how do you get a really good black? The black doesn't need to sit as long as the reds and the other colors that we use. Let me just grab a spoon. When we first introduced our color line, to be very honest with you, I was not very happy with the black food coloring when we first got it in. And after a couple people called me and expressed their displeasure with it, I went back to the laboratory and we redesigned or redeveloped a new black food coloring. And I think we have the best black food coloring on the market now. And I just want to show you quickly how well this works. When you are coloring fondant, it's best to use gloves because almost any color will stick to your hands, or any of the gel colors will. And here's my super black. We'll see how black we can get this little piece of paste. Okay, so I've just kneaded this for about a minute, and you can see that I still have a nice firm paste. The fondant is still a good consistency, but I've really achieved a very, very dark black fondant with our new food coloring. So I would not be afraid to use this with any cake decorating. It really is a great black food coloring. So those are just a few of it, of the colors. Now, a couple things about the color line, the gel colors in particular, they are freeze-thaw safe, which means that you can decorate a cake with colored icing, you can freeze the cake or refrigerate it, and if you take it out and you do get some condensation and you have little water droplets that may drip on the side of your cake, the color will not run. And that does happen with some food colorings. It does not happen with this coloring. Also, it works very well in painting. And if you just take a little bit of the gel color and mix it with some edible alcohol like vodka or gin, you can actually paint with a paintbrush on the side of a cake, and it works beautifully for that as well. The next thing I want to show you is how to do basic airbrushing with the airbrush colors. And I'm just going to take two cakes and show you what the pearl looks like and how to airbrush a cake a complete color like gold. Okay, I have a cake covered with fondant. You can airbrush either buttercream or fondant. A lot of people are airbrushing fondant now, so I want to show you that today. The airbrush I'm using is one of Cassie Brown's airbrush kits. It comes with the airbrush itself and the little compressor, and I import these from England, and they work very well. They're not real expensive, and they're a great tool to have in your cake decorating kitchen. It has 3 different speeds. I'm going to start right on high. Just set that over here. And I'm going to start with a gold. And this is the soft gold shimmer. And what I basically want to do is show you a basic technique of airbrushing. Whenever you're airbrushing anything, the idea is to put very light coats on and go over it and over it and over it after it's dried a little bit until you get a really nice covering. Don't try and do a complete covering the first time. You'll hardly see it in the beginning. I'm staying about maybe 5-6 inches away from the cake, and I'm not even pulling the little trigger back all the way, maybe halfway. We won't do the whole cake, we'll just do part of it. You can see the color is just starting to develop. I might let that dry for a minute or 2 minutes, and then I would come back and I would spray a second coat. So now I've let this dry a little bit. I'm going to come back and I'm going to do a third coat. The only reason that you're letting it dry is you don't want the moisture to build up and have a run or a drip on the cake. And there we go. I'll stop at that. But you can see that the airbrush, let me just shut this off. The airbrush color gives you a beautiful, beautiful clean coat. This is one of the pearl or shimmer lines, so you'll have a little bit of a shimmer on the cake. Some of the airbrush colors are a flat color, and then there's a beautiful line of shimmer colors as well. There's silvers, there's golds, there's oranges, tangerines, all kinds of colors. The next one I want to show you is the super pearl. Some people like the effect of pearlizing an entire cake, and rather doing it with a brush and a powdered pearl dust, you can do it with an airbrush color. So we'll do that one now. Now, because there's not a color in this, you won't see a big difference, but you will see a nice pearlized shine. So we'll just do part of the cake so you can see the difference. And that looks good. Okay, this is the part that I didn't do, and you can see it's sort of a flat look as fondant normally is. And then this side just has that nice shine to it. It just slightly pearlizes it. It's not as brilliant as a shine as the powder, but it also won't come off on your hands, and it won't fall on the tiers below or on other decorations. So this is a great way to get that nice pearlized finish on a cake by using the airbrush colors. Do take a few minutes when you get a chance and go to my website and look at the color charts. There are several different color wheels on the website, and there is an explanation under every one of them on how you can choose appropriate colors that will go together and look great on a cake. I've found this to be very helpful in all my decorating, and I think a lot of people simply don't understand color wheels, and if you give it a chance, I think you'll really enjoy using it. Again, all the colors are available at globalsugarart.com. We have the gel colors in a 3/4 ounce bottle. These have a little flip cap, and you can just do a drop at a time. The 2-ounce bottles have a little screw cap that you just unscrew and then it drops out. And then the 10.5 ounce bottles. And we have the 2-ounce and the 3/4 ounce in the airbrush colors as well. And like I said, within a very short time, we're also going to have a powdered food coloring line that will work great in fondant and will not thin the consistency or soften it in any way. And I'm very excited about that line coming out. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. And again, all the supplies are available at globalsugarart.com.